Miss. And greetings, everyone. Welcome to Rooted in Us, a podcast by Love and Healing Work, featuring the amazing, wonderful Jeremy Teel. My name is Fatima Mann. This is our very first podcast, just recording. This is our introduction. We wanted to introduce ourselves, let you know what Rooted in Us is, who we are, why we're coming to you twice a month to just bring you some information, new insights, hindsights, and everything in between. So before we get started, I would love to just remind everyone to drink water. Please take care of yourself. Listen to this in a place that feels good for you. Share it with a friend. Follow myself at Loving Healing Work and subscribe to the channel and learn more about what we do. So let's get into it really quickly so people know who you are, Jeremy, and I will introduce myself. But who are you? Who's Jeremy Teel? What is Jeremy Teel? Who is Jeremy Teel? What is Jeremy Teel? And why Jeremy Teel, darling?
That is a lot and exciting to go all. We don't have all day, but we will go with. Let's start with the why. Well, the parents did this thing called love each other, and boom, that's the why. And I kept the name, although I have definitely changed it several times in my 20s. We came right back to the original name because it was cool. What is Jeremy Teel? Jeremy Teel is a creative force of nature. Jeremy Teel is a lover of all things beautiful, all things awkward, all things in progress, because I do believe that that is who I am. And then we said why? We said what? No, we said what and who. No, I said what. I got to get the who, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the who. Who is Jeremy Teel? Jeremy Teel is just a really dope dude in Texas who has some really great friends, and one of them happens to be this fantastic being called Fatima Mann, who has invited him to do this. It sounds crazy, but really, there's too much to put in there. It's just I'm a lot of great, and I know a lot of great people, including this wonderful lady here.
Oh, thanks, friend. I'm just reflection. There's no lies. Everything Jeremy Teel said about Jeremy Teel, I stamped 3 times of approval, USDA approved. I absolutely agree with everything that was said about who, what, and why Jeremy Teel. Before I go into who, my, what, why, um, when you let people know what your business is, where they can follow you, just always shout out. I'm always going to ask you to shout out yourself every time. Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure. So I think, yeah, I said it. I'm a creative genius. So one of the issues that I was having is I could not find work that let me do all the things that I'm really good at all at once. So I said, screw these people. I'm going to do my own thing. So I started my own set of businesses. Right now, they're all under the same umbrella, but the ones that I'm using the most, the ones that I hang out with the most are Two Light Studio, which is a portrait studio here in Houston, Texas. I am a headshot and a narrative art portrait photographer. I didn't know that's what it was called. An art student had to tell me that. I didn't get to go to art school. I had to go to school for something else because Black parents. And the other one as a Jeremy A. Teel Creative, which is really an excuse for me to get paid to do everything that I'm good at because it's such a broad umbrella. I do everything from consulting and marketing and engagement to event planning to floral design to strategizing for trips and people. It's a lot. It really is. But you can just write the check out to Jeremy A. Teel, and the IRS seems to be okay with it. Thanks, IRS. That's what I do.
Beautiful beings. Jeremy is disgustingly amazing at a lot of different things, and it's beautiful to have a friend who just is so genius, like just brilliant, and can pick up a new thing and create something amazing. You give Jeremy just a thought, an idea, and it's just like watching the magic form from how the experience looks and how it just smells and what people will see and how they see it and what the experience is. It just it's one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm Fatima. Why am I Fatima? Well, that's what my mom and my mom named me Fatima. She said she never had a daughter. She would name her Fatima. She had a daughter. I'm Fatima.
Because you're a
Hola.
daughter.
So And I liked my name. My grandmother, my old lady, she used to have the Britannicas in the basement. Like we had a little library, so I grew up with the look it up generation. So everything was look it up. You couldn't ask the question until you looked it up. But if you asked the question, they'd ask you, "Did you look it up?" And then you had to read what you looked up and then use it in a sentence. So I come from that generation.
Mhm.
So when I found that my name had several different meanings and different religious backgrounds, I was like, okay, cool. I like this. And so my name is actually Fatima. I didn't pick it up. I actually allow people to call me Fatima, and that's not my name. My name is actually Fatima. So that was that. That's you know, who mostly. We don't have all day either. So my why, my why. Let's see. I haven't worn shoes for 10 years this April. I have been wandering for the last 2 years this June. So everything has been packed up and in storage, and I've been living out of 4 suitcases for 2 years now. And I just do what I do for the people. I am the people. So everything that I feel like I do is going to benefit me or those that I love in some capacity. And I love people. So it just works out that I'm going to be unapologetically someone who helps people think differently, move differently, consider why they even do what they do. Because half these people out here are just out here. Like, what are you doing and why are you doing it? Real questions that I have most of the time. And my what is love and healing work. So love and healing work is a business that we started almost 4 years ago, actually, this June. Um, to consult, to train, to help people embody practices that don't cause harm. So most times people are out here trying to help people or doing great work, but the great work sucks because you're harming yourself and others. So you're not really doing great work. You just are getting a really fat check that says that you are, but you're not. So we have a business that helps organizations, people come together to do great work without harming themselves or others. I help guide retreats. I do healing experiences, policy upgrades, hiring things, just random love and healing things that most people don't think they need, but you need.
Yeah, you be loving and you be
So,
healing.
so that's
It's,
that.
it's in the name, people. It's right there.
It is. It really is. And I just use my law degree to help you make it a policy, a
Oh,
practice,
yeah,
something.
she went to lawyer school, by the way.
I went to lawyer
Yeah.
school. I did.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
these things. It's a lot going on up in here. You buckle in, buttercups.
there's a there's a whole lot of layers, as they say, in this between the two of us. There's at least I would give it a good Grand Canyon scale of layers if we're gonna be real.
Yeah, yeah, and a perception. That is such a good, and it's called an analogy. I didn't go to English school either. Um, and that's a good analogy because the Grand Canyon is much bigger than people think it is. Like it is huge. I think grand is an understatement. If I were her, I would say let's go with Planet Canyon because I'm big, babes. Okay, like I'm big, I'm huge.
Yeah, that's really you. And I feel like together, we're just the Canyon. So, rooted in us, why this podcast? Why now? So, Jeremy and I are brilliant, like we really are. And we have really great conversations that are based around just everyday people who are like, I just want to have this conversation. I have questions and there's thoughts that we have, and we wanted to share them from all of our perspectives, our lived experiences, our work experiences, all the things that make us our unique, beautiful, wonderful selves, the things that people hire us for, the things that people won't hire us for because they know that we're not for sale. So we're going to give it to you the way that it needs to be given because clearly you need this medicine. And so having a space where we have conversations about different things that impact our communities, the things that we're rooted in as beings. And we go by different labels and we subscribe to different groups sometimes, depending on what's happening that day. And if it serves us. And we want to talk from those perspectives unapologetically. So the perspective of what people may call I call them the rainbow community. People call it LGBTQ plus community. Some people call it the queer community, whatever you call it. There's a community of us who have been living just openly and freely in different ways. And there's conversations that we want to have that involve our community and then all the nuances within those communities because there's so many and all the systems that touch us, which are all of them. So we want to talk about them and from a place of love and grace and also have y'all thought about this for real? Are
Yeah,
we?
that's like the premise of our. This is the premise of our friendship. This are we gonna call it? I don't know. What we're gonna call it this series. This series is going to be essentially us doing what we do in front of y'all. That's really all this is. And yes, it's this serious every time. It is. It is because it's serious work. Like it comes down to who's in your corner, who is supporting you, what are you bringing to them to help them support you, and what are we going to then turn into the product that is helping the world. It really is what that is. It's a lot of conversation that is ongoing. It's a lot of stop and start. It's a lot of I need another week, but eventually the product is beautiful, and ultimately you really are your best product. So we're going to be hawking a lot of our businesses here because we are for hire, but we're not for sale. At least our values aren't. Well, less Fatima's, more mine. There are certain numbers that just get me going. Just so sad.
Somebody asked me, was there a number that I put shoes on for? I'm like, for how long?
It's called negotiation, babe. Episode 3, negotiation.
like how long are we?
How long would you like your shoes to stay on? Because there's
Maybe a
and
price
y'all,
for
I
that.
don't think you understand that she really doesn't wear shoes. Like there are no shoes on this woman's feet, and it sounds absolutely bazonkers. It really does until you figure out why and the histories of the people that have reclaimed this sort of lifestyle. And I mean, what we refer to as a lifestyle, would you say?
I guess.
I mean, it is a way of living, that's for sure. But I don't know. I always get such a negative connotation when I say lifestyle because I think of Christians talking about gays. It's like, bitch, if this is a
Oh.
lifestyle, then we need to talk about yours. Yours is way more damaging than mine. But okay, so I'm gonna say lifestyle for now. If we come up with something different, but we can come with it later. But yeah, she really doesn't wear shoes. It's a whole thing. We need to have a whole episode about the shoe thing.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. Oh, we should do that for Juneteenth. Like have a what the freedom, looks like. Because it's a different. It's not even a lifestyle. Like it's a way of thinking and being. Like it's just how I see the world. Like it's just when people are simpletons and they talk to
Yeah,
me, I'm just so unimpressed. And it's not like and I'm unimpressed because you're living like everybody else. You look like everybody else. You are a cookie cutter of something on the Twitter or the X or the TikTok or whatever the thing is. You look like a cutout of that. And then you want to tell me about anything that has to do with my unique, beautiful, amazing self. Like you look like something that stepped out of a social media app. And you
yeah,
want to talk to me about something?
yeah. And you know what's really fascinating for the people listening and the people watching and even the people who might know us, this isn't coming from a place of arrogance. It really isn't, because earlier Fatima even said something about we're going to be using this platform to let people know what we do for other people, because it is at the end of the day a vessel to get our voices out there to make money, because money is necessary to live, and living is what we plan on doing. That's what we're trying to continue to do. But the difference between those simpletons that I think Fatima is talking about and the non-simpletons that that whatever that we are, that's what I say, the non-simpletons that we are, is that we're trying to do it purposefully and in alignment with what feels good and what's going to do the least harm in the long run. So yeah, it feels like an asshole statement to say you're a simpleton, but y'all know who the fuck we talking about. Like don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that. You know who
Right.
we talking about.
The simple ones. See, and if you get offended to that, then maybe.
And someone has to be the simple one. And I will tell you this, if this one starts going on about lawyer crap or disaster relief crap and I'm using crap just jokingly, but there's just some stuff that my brain turns into mush. Like I just is like, okay, and where am I dropping you off? I can't engage in that conversation. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I, at that moment, am the simpleton. See, it happens. Even a complex individual such as myself can be simplified. Often with religion. I'm not going to lie. People just come to you with the religion thing. You're just like, okay, well, praise them. What do you want me to say?
That's how I feel when you be talking about cameras and stuff. When you be like, when you go in, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Did you drink some water? Okay, good.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you're hydrated.
That sounds lovely, friend. That sounds like a really cool friend. That sounds like a really great new camera. I'm happy that you got
it. That's funny. It's funny.
Because that's how our simple, like, when you are a beautiful, authentic version of yourself, then at some point in your life, you're going to be the simpleton, and at some point in your life, you're going to be the expert. If you are living in your true authenticity, there should always be this. I would say, I can say should. There will no. I'll say will. There will be this pendulum that swings where you're like, I'm simple here, and then I am all the shit over here. But if we're over here, don't call me, don't phone this friend. I'm not the one that you should like. I don't know nothing about this. I'm listening because you're my friend. And this is your like lane of expertise. And I think that that's where people tend to get offended, is they want to know everything about everything. It's like, why? I love that I don't know half the shit some of my friends be talking about, and they be going like, I have scientists, rocket scientists as friends, physicists as friends. They be talking about the mathy angles and numbers, and you know what happens? I just sit there and really love that they can talk so enthusiastically about numbers.
But I'm not gonna what do you call it? I'm not going to like buck their opinions or go with them about shit I don't get. Now I will ask questions because what should I want to know? You brought it to me. Okay, you tried to explain to me how you got that damn rocket out of the atmosphere, and I'm not so much concerned about the rocket itself, like going up, but like, what do the couch cushions look like? Like, are we using real leather? Is that too heavy? Because I know weight got things to do with it. Can you wear juries? Like, I have questions. So that's where we get into it. But I don't give a fuck about that damn rocket or the people. Fuck the people.
Wait, I do wonder though, do they wear makeup in outer space? Didn't people go out of space? Wasn't this a thing? So, I lived under a rock, right? Like living in Mexico, I did not. Last 4 months, I have no idea what's happening, child. I only knew about the Dandy Met Gala because, Miss Pam. Like, if
Yes,
I was not aware of the Met Gala, then you could absolutely know that I'm not aware of a lot of things.
yeah,
Okay?
there was a lot that happened.
So it seemed like the people were in space, the world was crumbling, Black people are line dancing again. I just like
you got it. I mean, this is the best. This is the headline. This is another reason why you can't be a news outsource. I mean, you can't be a news source because your headlines are the story. That's the story. You can't click through, babe. That's it. It's up to your interpretation. It's like, Fatima, we got to give them something. Fuck that. I pay for this network and your children's tuition. You will print what I say.
I didn't know. Like,
yeah,
really
no, but no,
know.
there are white women and Gail went to. What was that? Yeah, well, I mean, she might identify as white because certain Latino women are white. Well, that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, I'm just gonna talk about Gail. Gail took her black ass up there and came right back down. But I thought they were going to space, like for real. But they really just like went up and came down, and that don't count. Sorry, it just doesn't count.
Okay, wait. Gail King,
Gail King,
Oprah's
Oprah's best friend,
best friend,
Auntie Gail.
went out of space, off the
Yeah,
Earth,
she went off the
out
earth.
of
She
the
went up.
out of the earthly atmosphere
Mm-hmm.
in a rocket,
Yeah,
and then came back down.
yeah.
So how long was the trip?
I think it was 11 minutes.
Wait, okay. How much did the trip cost? Now I have questions because
The GDP of some medium-sized countries. Yeah, it was expensive. It was
to
expensive.
Port K. Why did we do this?
I mean, people like to have a little publicity stunt here and there, but ultimately, this is really just it. Let me give y'all a lesson in marketing and tax write-offs. So, if you have something that is going to market your business, in this case, I believe it's not SpaceX. It's what's the one Bezos has? Whatever. It's recreationally going to space. Like you can pay so much money to go up there, float around for a few minutes, and then come back down. This is that. This is like, oh, we're gonna have this product coming up. Oh, these really famous people did it. See, they came back safe. Give me $45,000 and I'll let you do it. Like it's that. So now it just goes into publicity. Now it goes into marketing. Goes into PR. It's a tax write-off. So it doesn't matter how many millions of dollars it costs. You don't have to pay taxes on it. That's what rich people do. Same with houses. They build houses like the big ridiculous like 200, $300 million houses. People don't live in them damn houses. They're tax write-offs. I know that was a lot. See, this is the simple thing in action. You're seeing us play it out in real life. Fatima's like, I have questions. I don't know what the hell is happening. Fair. That's what happened.
Okay. So what I heard was we need a publicity stunt that's tax write-off.
Yeah.
That would market our businesses or something really big, and then we can be like, for $60,000, you can have it too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now it's supposed to be proportionate to the income of the business. Like that, it'd be a red flag if you made $90,000 this year, or like you spent $90,000 on business, but 85 of that was this thing. It's like, well, that means you only spent $5,000 on the business. You spent $85,000 on this thing. But you didn't have no other money come. So it's got to be proportionate to how much money is coming in and coming out. But Jeff Bezos is like number 12 or something like that on the richest people on the planet. So, some $100 billion is not a lot of money for that
man. Okay. See,
I'm also thinking about the flight. I'm thinking about the publicity around it, like all the news networks, television ads, people doing interviews for it. All that shit costs money. So it's not just the flight. It was a lot of money that went into getting them people up and coming back down.
I had no idea, friend. Yeah. I've only been back in the United States, I think, for 9 days. And no idea. I just saw Oprah briefly looking like she was freaking out, and a caption about Gail going into space. And that's all I got.
So I'm telling you right now, if you decide to be the first shoeless woman in space, I ain't coming to that launch pad. You know why? Because that's how they get you. That's how they go get rid of your black ass. I'm not gonna watch you go up in no goddamn rocket. You stay your ass down here on the ground. How about that?
Listen, you ain't ever, never, ever, never gotta worry about me randomly going into space in this lifetime at all. That is not what you have to worry about me doing. Okay?
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, I just want to say that out loud. Nah, no. I'm trying to stop flying planes. So I'm trying to the world is going to be underwater soon. I'm trying to figure out this whole super yacht situation and how do I need to figure out how to drive a boat? Because the way that everything is flooding, I don't even, you know what I'm saying? We're going to need a super yacht with a landing pad on it. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. To
don't
yeah, very water
really,
world, very water world.
yeah, I don't really see myself going into space. I'm trying to figure out this whole Earth thing right here, so I don't have to come back.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Can we tell the people also about how allocating resources is another one of our many talents? Being able to do the thing you want to do and also helping the at large community, or what I like to call the complementary community. Uh,
Ooh.
you can help everybody while helping yourself and your client at the same time, because
Yeah.
that is the opposite of what this space thing did. Right? It was not rooted in healing.
Hey, hey.
It was not. I don't. It was rooted in greed, but yeah, even in that, we could have had some wonderful conversations about the people who made the engineering possible for, or the community that sacrificed land to allow you to build this goddamn compound on their land and get these people up and down. The wonderful journalists, the seamstresses that made the outfits. Like, there's just so much opportunity to uplift so much more than just five or six people, two of which I don't even know who those people are. And I love me some pop culture. So it wasn't rooted in something that either you and I would have been able to do, you know? Because in that
Mhm.
meeting, there's just questions that you ask, like, all right, this is the budget, this is the budget, and this is the deliverable. Who else? I mean, we could do like a food bank for a year with this. Are you what? We we could we could put like 30 kids in school in like 4 states with the print budget alone. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Sorry. So I'm trying to bring it back to this idea of, it is, if it's not rooted in something helpful, it sometimes it's just you, but if it's not rooted in something helpful, why are the fuck are you doing it? It's not gonna give you nothing. If it's not gonna do nothing, what you doing it for?
So there wasn't even like a let's raise money for charity. Like let this flight do something. There was no social good aspect of the entire experience, is what you're saying.
It's not from what I understood or saw or read. Like, if it was buried underneath everything else.
And I also wonder, when we talk about what is it rooted in, is it rooted in non-harm too, right? Like, are you giving back to the land that because you have to destroy some stuff to build some stuff, right? So what is the destruction and the rebirth look like? And I think that's one of the things that systems do a really terrible job at, or organizations, they do a really terrible job at. It's like they don't think about the harm that it's caused because it's a good idea. And it's like, that's a good idea, but you didn't think about who it's gonna impact, or like, I would have loved to know the names of the people who made the outfits, right? Because how many costumers or people coming up who do design, that you have to think how many people played a role in their outfits being made. Not just the design of it, but the materials, they're probably non-flammable and all these things that you had to think about to even create that for them to go into space and be stylish. Like, who did that? Like, are there going to be scholarships for people who want to do stuff like that, right? Like, to think about, yeah, you can really design these things that they wear into space, and really honoring what you're doing. Is it like, how many people is it touching, and will it continue to touch in a way that isn't harmful, so that somebody else, maybe 15 somebody else's, can come through the door behind you doing something similar, or like different, but you inspired them, or they were programs that was inspired because of it. And not having that kind of sucks when you think about, well, when I think about everything you're saying, like, this, it could have been an opportunity to really bring in people who are doing all these things and maybe want to do these things and didn't even know that it was possible. Like, did you know this skill could be used to go out of space? And you're like, no.
No idea. You don't know the practical applications of your genius until someone gives you opportunity to do it. And I mean, I feel like I'm a living testament of that. Half the time, I don't be knowing what the hell these people are talking about, but they have 15 different ideas that they, for some reason, will only compromise on 2 of. And so here I go having to make 13 things that are kind of opposing make sense. And I do it. And the reason I do it is because I'm a fucking genius. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. Yes, we can do it in that color. Yes, it can be flammable and waterproof and flame proof. Okay. Easily tear awayable. Yes, we can nip that waist, baby, because you got to be thin, even if you're in space. Like, yes, we can do all that. We can do all that. Give me 6 months and a credit card that doesn't have a limit, because it's going to take some time. It's going to take a coin. It's going to take a coin. What can I say? I might have to call a few people. So yeah, like I get it. Sometimes you really just don't know. That is truly, I think that's the real genius of people, not just like myself, but people that sit down and ask questions about what is going on around them and how can they impact others, bring others in, ultimately lightening their load. Really, you only really want to be, I only want to be in hustle mode like 2 times on a project. I don't want to be in hustle mode the whole time. After some point, you've got to just let people help. You've made the blueprint, you've done the concept. You are clearly not the expert, but you made it work. You got them to give you the budget. Wonderful. If you didn't budget in people that actually know what the fuck they're doing, you crazy. You're fucking crazy. Go get you a goddamn engineer. You are not a fucking engineer. You're a party planner, at least in this capacity. But you got the call. So if you got the call, make it make sense for the village. Bring the whole village in. Everybody will eat, and we will have made impact in the world. That's what we're talking about, people. That's what we're talking about.
And not harming yourself or others to do it. Because I'm always going to say that, like, we have been fed this culture of harm first, and then now we're trying to have harm reduction or mitigate harm. It's like, nah, just do the thing and then think about the ways to not be harmful. It's like, how do I get the impact that I'm seeking without causing the harm? And that's whether you're a part of certain communities or not. And that's one of the things that we'll be talking about is like, just because you are a part of a certain community that has experienced some sort of harm, systemic racism, systemic oppression, does not mean that you are not harmful. Like, it does not mean that you did not cause harm. It just means that we've all been given this system, this recipe, if you will, and we're wondering why the meal keeps sucking, because you keep on following the same sucky ass recipe. Let's find another one that will give us the results that we're seeking, be good for us, taste good, and involve different people in the kitchen, because everybody has a different product. Everybody isn't a farmer, right? So I want to invite the farmer to the table, because you got the vegetables that I need, and you may have the butter that you don't go on these biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has something. Somebody may be a tea trapper and gonna give us some maple syrup to go with these honey biscuits. I'm hungry. I think I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry too. Thanks for that. This coffee is not doing it. Like, I'm drinking this coffee like it's a meal. It ain't no damn meal. I'm hungry.
I'm over here dreaming of biscuits.
It's like you went from vegetable soup to biscuits, maple syrup. Okay, well listen.
What the?
It sounds like a spread to me. I'll be over. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I mean, but biscuits and vegetables, it could be a meal.
Oh, absolutely.
Like...
Between the broth and the starch, and so the broth and the carbs, you'll be full in no time. Full and nourished and got all kinds of fabulousness. Okay, yeah, we're hungry. We need to eat food.
And I still got the elevation sickness. Oh man, it's ridiculous. Don't ever go from the beach to the mountains. If no one ever tells you about elevation sickness and you plan on going to different elevations, you should look into it, because you can get sick really quickly if you go from one elevation to the other without any in between incline, right? Like, no help, no steps. I wish somebody told me. So this is just a random information.
Don't do self-harm.
when you are traveling, it sounds like a good idea to go through the mountains. Wait, drive,
just
take a
yeah,
time.
drive, take a moment, stop in the middle for minimum 12 hours. Minimum 12
Baby,
hours. Sit mid elevation.
I lost like 7 pounds, and you know I don't have less. I don't really have 7 pounds to lose, but it's going. Um, so that's when my body wants a biscuit.
I understand. I do want to, the word isn't comment. I do want to ask maybe a clarifying question for those who are listening and also are like me. Is it fair to assume that harm in some cases is inevitable, but it can be less impactful, like on the person, or let's just say the environment, or I say the person or the environment. Environment being planet, environment meaning the rapport of the room. Sometimes feelings. I think of feelings as something to do with this. Like people's feelings are going to get hurt, or someone's going to have a difference of opinion, and I don't know if that's harmful. I have a lot of questions, but I think I made sense.
You did, because I actually teach this section called discomfort versus harm, and what it means to move from this place of knowing that discomfort is one thing and harm is another. So when I think about harm, harm requires a process. So when you are harmed, you have to go through some sort of healing, some sort of something has to happen when a harm has occurred. When a discomfort happens, you just need to shift. Discomfort usually invites us to change. There's usually a shift that happens. So one of the biggest ways or easiest ways I describe it is, if I was in this chair for 4 days, I would need physical therapy. My body would be harmed. I would have to go through a process to get my body back into a state where it could stand and not have all the sores, all the things. I've been sitting in this chair for 3 days. 3 days of sitting without moving, harmful. But if I'm sitting here for like 35 minutes and I'm uncomfortable, then I can just shift, right? It's just a movement because I'm uncomfortable. But there's no process that has to happen because I shifted in my chair. There's no steps that need to occur that's going to heal my wounds or help my wounds close faster and not get infected. I don't have to do any of that when I'm uncomfortable. I just have to shift. So I do think, yes, does harm happen? Usually when we're not mindful. When we are not mindful and we're not aware of our present, harm usually happens. When we are mindful, we usually don't cause harm. It's people get like their feelings are hurt, but most times people's feelings are hurt have nothing to do with the person speaking. It's usually because it's triggering and people have some things they need to deal with and they don't want to deal with them. So it's easier to say, you caused me to. It's like, hold on, I can't make you do nothing. I can't make you do one thing. Because I wish I could make people drink water and take care of themselves. You know how different the world would be? So when I think about harm, I engage with it as we cause harm when we are not mindful, when we are not present, when we are not in our bodies and aware of what's actually happening from the human, not from all these words and ideologies and concepts that have just been made up with someone's magic pen, and someone else peer reviewed it and someone else said that was a good idea, and now all of us are co-signing on this idea. Not that. That's different. But if a harm, you have to go through like some reconciliation, having like, can we talk about this? Or like doing some actual work. Discomfort is just more questions usually and reevaluating why. Like, why does this make you uncomfortable? What is this doing to what you believe, be how you behave, what your morals or values are? And so when I think about harm, I think about them in that reference. Discomfort invites change, transition. Harm invites an entire reconciliation healing process that has to happen.
Okay, work. Well, there you go, kids. A wonderful preview of what is the name of the training, this particular training?
This one is cultural mindfulness.
Just a tiny little snippet of cultural mindfulness by our good friend Fatima Mann, JD. It's I've never gone through it, but maybe by the end of this podcast, By the end of the entire series, we will have gone through all the modules out of order and with no context. But hey,
None.
if you want to, if you feel like you can get it for free, try. It's easier to give her a call, send her an email, and just pay her to do it. It's easier. You'll get the information faster. Just saying.
You're not lying. You're not lying. Yeah. So, because and I finished an ebook. So I finished my first draft of the ebook that mentions the difference between discomfort and harm, and the foundations of what love and healing work practices are. So in order to even engage in loving healing work practices or non-harmful practices, you have to be in consent, and you definitely need to know the difference between discomfort and harm. And then we talk about artificial constructs. But most people are out here talking about you harmed me. I'm like, no, I just said something you didn't like. There's a difference.
There's a massive difference, people. Massive difference. And if you have ever said that before, now go back and just give it a think. That's all we're asking. Just give it a quick think. A lot of people are throwing around the word harm. And I don't know, babe. I think you're just a little uncomfortable. That's okay. It's okay. I'm uncomfortable as hell all the time, by the way. I have just learned that discomfort comes with life. But I'm not being harmed. That's for sure. I'm not being harmed. I just don't like y'all. You're getting on my fucking nerves, is what it is. But I'm here for you, baby. I'm here for you. Give me a call. Let's make it work.
Oh yeah, yeah. Jeremy is one of the best hosts you'll ever have. Jeremy can. It's beautiful to watch and also be like, okay, sit down. But I've seen Jeremy take pictures, host the show, curate the space, set up the space, make sure the space is like breathtakingly gorgeous. It looks completely different than what you thought it would. And it's all in one night. And you're just like, sit down, friend. And also, great job. Just great job. Like
It's like, good, this is beautiful. And who's taking it down? Me, of course. You crazy? Trust these hosts to touch my stuff. Hey. But no, you're right. It's a dependency on myself that I can rely on, and also a part of my genius that I'm learning to push back. You've got to let people help you in order for you to be your most efficient and fabulous self. So maybe that's a part of my genius mindfulness. I don't know. Training. Are you a genius? Do you want to be a genius? You want to know how geniuses work? Take Genius Mindfulness with Jeremy Teel. It's an online course. It only takes 30 minutes. It's really quick, girls. $9.99. Click the link below. Because we don't have time. We're geniuses, okay? Like, we need to get this done. Like, what are you saying? Get to the point. Okay, love this. I'm a certified genius now. You are correct.
Here's your online certificate.
Here's your online certificate from Jeremy A. Teel University. That'd be funny. That would really be funny. If someone put that shit on their resume, I would be so happy. They're like, oh my God, I'm credible now.
To Jeremy Teel.
I mean, don't all certifications come from nowhere at the end of the day?
Hey, I've thought about creating my own. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen in the next year or two. Just certify people, not just certify people, but I want to certify people in these love and healing practices so that they can do work without harming themselves or others. I do. And it does. You create your own certification process, and there's no one that can tell you that it's not real.
So, I mean, can we also say that certifications are just a form of accountability at the end of the day? A form of accountability and really blame. It's like, where did you get these practices from? Who the fuck told you that this was okay? It's always going to come down to the person you learned it from. So we're really taking all the liability if you do this wrong. So that's why it takes you a minute. You got to take a quiz, bitch. Like, are you
kidding me out here?
Right. My quiz might be five questions long. Yes, no. Only one of them was required, and that is your first name. Fatima's quizzes will be much harder. So, I might be bringing them in, but let's just say Fatima's the one that's producing the actual certifications here. I ain't doing shit. I don't know you, Judith, but you are now a certified genius. It is so lovely. Thank you so much for taking the course.
Just make sure you pay your $9.99. to get your certificate.
It was due at the door, okay? And if you want a print, it's gonna be $59.99 because we gotta frame it and send it to you.
They put on a matte finish.
I put it in a matte finish. We can do different colors. Different colors. Do you want some merch from the school? We can get you a T-shirt, certified Genius. Come see
So by the
you.
end of this, there's gonna be a Jeremy Teel University merch, and we're gonna have different things.
If Donald
I
Trump
just
could have a fucking university, I can have a university.
yeah,
Just saying, I can have one. I don't want one, but I could have one.
you could. For all the little Jeremy Teels out there.
Precious little bitches. Okay, I know we're getting to the
So
place.
where can people support you between now and the next time? Do you have any events that you're coming up with? Are you doing anything? Is anything that we should know about?
Well, hot scoop. I'm looking to make sure I got the date right. But my next exhibition, which is called Unburdened, Stories of Black Men at Rest and Those Who Wrote Them, is going to debut July the 25th and 26th here in Houston, Texas at 2 Light Studio. It is wonderful. It will be an immersive and interactive art and poetry. I don't really know if it all counts as poetry, but I wrote some words. Experience. I'm very, very, very excited about it, and I can't wait for people to come. So if you have nothing to do, or if you have something to do, cancel it. July the 25th. Be our ass in Houston. It is not just an exhibition; it's a party and a hangout and a kickback with a beautiful brunch following the next day in the studio with a Q&A with me. So there's that. More information will be made available at jeremyateel.com or twolightstudio.com, which is my portrait studio. So, boop, boop, boop. Moving into the portrait space, I am still very much so open and excited to be doing more headshots and portrait work for the spring into spring, into summer. Yeah, Pride Month is coming up. I believe all queer people should have at least a decent picture of them. Like, have a decent picture of you taken by someone who loves you and knows you, specifically those of you who are in transition and are not aware of what you look like or want to present as. Let me help you do that. Let's curate an image for you that feels like you. And for everyone else, you just need a fucking good headshot, okay? Because I'm tired of the terrible selfies. I'm tired of them, okay? I'm tired of it. I don't want to see no more club pictures as your LinkedIn profile picture, okay? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Call me, twolightstudio.com. I think that's it. Also, just pray for me, Lord. Just pray. That's my last request.
I actually need to get new headshots because I have hair now. So
that's right.
Yeah, that's a thing. We're driving through Houston, so I'm gonna hit you up because I need hair headshots. It's weird when you like your hair grows and things change. You're like, dude, I need more headshots now because I don't even look like that person anymore.
True.
So yeah, Jeremy has taken so many pictures of me that I love so much, and I had to have a friend tell me, she was like, you need to put those pictures away because you do not look like that anymore. I'm like, but those are such great pictures.
They look good.
Jeremy did such a good job. I was like, and you also don't look like that anymore. Fine. So for me, I love and healing work. This is the year of we and not me. So I'm doing a lot with other people. The goal is to help people actualize their dreams. So if you're thinking about different events and experiences that you want to make sure that everyone knows that they belong, you can hire Love and Healing Work for that. And I am also doing a practicing sacred selfishness with Be More Raw. So Brandis Laws has a business called Be More Raw, and we are coming together to help people just be more selfish. And you can help the whole and take care of yourself and completely think about what your needs are. You don't have to give up you and do the work. You can have you and you can do your work. Both can be true. And what does that look like? So on May 30th at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, just take a break in your day and practice some selfishness with us. And I am doing a Black Women Healing Circle every month So we're doing it tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can go on our link tree, Loving Healing Work link tree, or just Eventbrite and go to Loving Healing Work and find the different experiences. Yeah, and just stay connected, subscribe, keep checking in, and ask yourself what you're doing and why you're doing it. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? What is it rooted in? Is it in us as the whole, as the people, or is it just rooted in you? And if it's just rooted in you, then ask yourself, does it benefit the all too? Because that's important. It's
So
important.
next year is going to be the year of y'all. That was supposed to be a joke. It didn't land, but I had to say it. I just had to say it. Damn it.
I got it.
Thanks, friend. You're the best.
You're welcome. Anything you want to say before we bless the people out and we see them in two?
Yes, I believe in yourself. You can do anything if you're a genius. Then I am a living testament today, specifically. Keep going.
Anything is possible, and it's whatever you believe is possible. So just keep living. My old lady would say, just keep living. And the more you live, the more you know. And the more you live, the more you know, the more you can love. So I hope that you all do that. Love more, live more, and drink water and take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Love.